How does a giant storage tank know its weight down to the gram? How does a bench scale read your part to a fraction of percent? The answer is the same little part in both. A load cell. It is hiding inside almost every scale, batching system, and weighing hopper in industry. And most people who use one every day could not tell you what is actually happening inside it. So in this video, I will explain what a load cell is from the metal outward, how a strain gauge turns a tiny flex into a voltage, why 4 of them get wired into a Wheatstone bridge, and how that whisper-quiet signal becomes a clean number your PLC can read. Let us start with the metal. Quick note before we dig in. This is from PLC Simulator, where you can practice analog signals and the rest of this video free, right in your browser. No install, no hardware. The link is in the description. Click the link in the description to try it free. Now back to the load cell. So what is a load cell, really? At its core, it is a transducer. A transducer just means a part that converts one kind of energy into another. A load cell converts force, the weight pressing on it, into an electrical signal. Put more weight on it, the signal changes in proportion. Take the weight off, the signal returns. That is the whole job. It is the bridge between two worlds. The mechanical world, where things have mass and push down, and the electrical world, where your PLC only understands voltage and current. Without it, your controller has no idea how heavy anything is. With it, the controller can weigh a tank to the gram. The clever part is how it pulls that off, and that is where strain gauges come in. Look inside. There is a precision-machined block of metal, the flexing element, sometimes called the spring element. It is built to bend by a tiny, repeatable amount under load. Bonded onto that metal are strain gauges. A strain gauge is a thin foil grid whose electrical resistance changes when it is stretched or squeezed. Stretch it, resistance goes up. Compress it, resistance goes down. The change is minuscule, so we need a way to read it precisely. That is the Wheatstone bridge. 4 gauges are wired into a diamond of 4 resistors. When there is no load, the bridge is balanced and the output is 0. Apply weight, and some gauges stretch while others compress. The bridge goes out of balance, and that imbalance produces a small, clean output voltage proportional to the load. The bridge also cancels out temperature drift because every gauge feels the heat together. That is the trick that makes a load cell accurate. Here is the catch. That bridge output is tiny. We're talking a few millivolts per volt of excitation. A typical cell might give you 2 millivolts for every volt you feed it at full load. That is far too small and far too fragile to wire straight into a PLC. So it goes through a signal conditioner, often called a weight transmitter or load cell amplifier. It excites the bridge, amplifies that whisper of a signal, filters out noise, and converts it into something rugged, usually a 4 to 20 milliamp loop or a digital value over a field bus. Now your PLC reads it like any other analog input. I have a separate video on reading 4 to 20 milliamp analog into a PLC, and another on the sensor, transducer, and transmitter chain. Both are linked below. Once it is a 4 to 20 milliamp signal, the load cell is just analog input, and you scale it like any other. A few practical things to know. Load cells come in shapes for the job. Compression cells take a straight downward push, good under tank legs. S-beam cells handle tension and compression, common in suspended hoppers. Single-point cells sit under a platform and tolerate off-center loads, which is why they are in bench scales. Whatever the type, 2 steps make it trustworthy. Calibration. You tell the system a known weight, so it maps the signal to real units. And tare. You zero out the weight of the empty vessel, so you read only what you add. Get those right, and you can batch ingredients, weigh a silo, or fill to a set point, all from a number your PLC trusts. Tanks, hoppers, scales, batching lines. Load cells are everywhere weight matters. So here's what to walk away with. A load cell is a transducer that turns weight into an electrical signal. Inside, strain gauges on a flexing element are wired as a Wheatstone bridge. Load throws the bridge out of balance and produces a tiny millivolt output. That output gets amplified by a weight transmitter into a 4 to 20 milliamp or digital signal your PLC can read and scale. Calibrate it, tare it, pick the right type, and you can weigh almost anything. Now, go make it concrete. If you want to practice scaling analog signals hands-on, click the link in the description to start free at plcsimulationsoftware.com. No hardware, no install. Subscribe, new video every Tuesday. See you in the next one.